to our April monthly membership meeting. And just by a show of hands, can you tell us who's brand new to these?
I am.
Yay! This is exciting! All right. So we do these every month, and it's just a good way for our members to kind of learn what other perks that they have. It's a way for you guys to get to know the chamber staff. So my name's Sarah. I'm the CEO of the chamber. Next to me here is Andy. He is the membership coordinator. So if you guys have any questions in regards to your membership perks, so you have a question in regards to maybe a table that you want to have at one of our events, or maybe your renewal is up and you have some other further questions, or maybe you want to upgrade your membership to get more perks. He's your go-to person. And then right here is Mike. He is our media coordinator. So he's the one that does a bunch of our marketing. You'll probably notice too that we have been more active than ever on our socials, and it's because of this guy right here. So this is the team right here. So if you have any questions, again, please let us know. These meetings are just a great way to come meet us, network with other members, learn about our upcoming events, which I will talk about shortly here. And then also we have been starting to really amp up our committees, which we will touch upon shortly as well. Does anybody have any questions before I start? No? Okay. So some great events that we have upcoming that you definitely want to mark your calendars for is Saturday, May 3rd, so that's right around the corner here. We are actually working with the Orland Park Public Library. We are hosting the National Civics Bee, and it's a partnership between the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and OPACC. And this is just a great way to get middle school students involved with civics, and they're able to compete in a national competition and are eligible to win $100,000 from the U.S. Chamber with this really great opportunity. So our local bee will be at Orland Park Library May 3rd from 1 to 3 p.m. It's completely free. It's just a way for you to come on out, network with members, and also cheer on these middle school students who really studied hard and are competing against one another so they can advance first to the state competition, which will be in the next couple of months. And the winner of the state competition, as I mentioned, will then go on and compete for that $100,000, and that will be held in November in Washington, D.C. Tuesday, June 10th, is our golf outing. So in prior years, we were having our golf outings in October, and we were listening to our members, and they just said, look, it's pretty late in the year. We've gone to so many golf outings already. Is there any way the chamber can push the golf outing, more sooner in the summer season? And we listened, we did it. So our outing is scheduled for Tuesday, June 10th. It will be back at Silver Lake Country Club. So definitely mark your calendars for that. Registration and check-in will begin at 8 a.m. 9 a.m. is shotgun. We are doing 18 holes. And of course, it wouldn't be an outing with some fun games and raffles and a great dinner that'll be kicked off at 3 p.m. And then Saturday, July 7th or 19th, we are actually going to be doing a brand new take on OPACC's Old Arts and Drafts event. This new event is going to be called Bites, Brews, and Blues. Pretty much everything that you hear, we will have incorporated in the event. So Bites being a bunch of food trucks, Brews, we're going to have a bunch of beer tasting, so a bunch of breweries will be there. And then the Blues, live blues music. So we're looking to have that at Orland Park Crossing. We're actually going to be doing a walkthrough tomorrow. More information on that will be coming soon. But if you really want to get your brand out there in the community and be visible, these are really great opportunities for you to sponsor the event. And of course, just share it with the people you know and just come on out and support the community. I'm actually going to hand it off now to some of our fantastic committee leaders. If it wasn't for them, the chamber wouldn't be going in the right direction or very positive direction. Last year we did not have as many committees, and now we're really starting to form these committees to really, engage our members more, as well as strengthen what we do for the community. So I'm actually going to hand it off to Glenn and Rob, who are the chairs of our ambassador committee.
Actually, I'm the chair. Glenn's.
Oh, all right.
No, he does not want to be chair. So
All right.
So my name's Rob Waymeyer. I'm the chair of the ambassador committee. I'm also on the board of directors. Our ambassador group is basically the kind of the backbone, the muscle of the chamber. We show up to events and help kind of grease the path of introductions. So we help people to meet one another. We're the ones, we wear badges all the time. And so we help. So if you are a new member or an existing member and you have questions, you want to meet somebody, please feel free to come up to us and talk to us, ask us questions, and charge us to introduce you to somebody. That's kind of our job. So, and we're also looking for people to be a part of our group. It's a great way to network and get to know the chamber, get to know our members. So please, if you have questions on that, I'll be here for the meeting, and we'll be happy to answer it. We're always looking for good members to help us out. We are the most involved group in the chamber because we meet we're doing something pretty much every week. So it is a group with a pretty high level of energy, and I love my group. So we're a good group. So thank you very much.
We also form the strategic planning committee, another way to bring the chamber into the right direction and grow it and make sure that we're hearing the needs of our members and putting our members first and being that primary resource. Next up is our marketing committee, which is chaired by Ms. Navia Zigar. So, take it over.
Marketing. I know Rob tried to say that his committee was the best, but really this is the most fun because we always have drinks at our meetings. That's the plan. So what we're trying to do, it's a newly formed committee, never existed before, but also never existing before was a dedicated full-time marketing person. So Mike does an excellent job. So what the committee is doing, or the reason it was formed, to kind of be a secondary means of jumping in when that extra resource for marketing and public relations is needed. Our goal is to make sure that every event we have, every initiative we have, even our new website developments are known by all the demographics. So we'll be looking at statistics, we'll be looking at the analytics, we'll be looking at the low-attended events, the well-attended events that we really don't need to pour any more resources into. So if you have a knack for marketing, or graphic design, or you really love sending mass emails, please let me know. We'll add you to our meeting list. And usually we're going to meet probably later in the afternoons, but we'll make it work for everybody. Right now I think we're a committee of 3, so I'm hoping to have at least 4 or 5, by the time I leave here today. So
thanks, Pete. Next up is going to be our membership committee, which is also brand new, another branch off of the ambassadors, and the chair for this one is going to be headed by Susan Parisi.
Hi, good morning. I'm Susan Parisi. I'm on the ambassadors at the TAC with Rob and Glenn and these lovely ladies as well. And was recently appointed chair for the membership committee. Very involved in the chamber. Grew up in Orleans Park. I love this area. I just absolutely love this chamber. The marketing committee is totally amazing. They did a video spot for us in my company, which was just outstanding. So this is a newly formed membership committee. So we're looking at member engagement, we're looking at renewal, we're looking at new members. So I am also looking for about 4 to 5 to kind of help pull this together and really integrate with our ambassadors. We're planning a blitz to go out and see members, which is going to be a lot of fun. And we work very, very closely with Andy here. So if you're interested, my information is out there, cards, whatever, and yeah, I look forward to having people join us. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we also have a summer events committee, so I'll introduce those 2 chairs, which is Michelle Cruz of Edwards Realty. You want to stand up, and then Ashley Peterson right over here, both chairs of.
You want to talk?
Nope, you go.
Hi, I'm Michelle Cruz. I've been involved in the chamber for 9 years now, 10 years. Summer events, another new committee that we are gathering together. And events for the Chamber Connect exist without help from our membership. And our board is really involved with our events as well now too. But you know, we need sponsorship. We need people to help run and organize the events. We also need people to attend our events. We're planning some great events like the Bites, Brews, and Blues. It's a new one that we're doing. I was one of the people that headed the arts and drafts along with Glenn. So, you know, I know a lot of the information that we use for that. It's going to be held on our property at Orland Park Crossing. So, you know, keep everything local and come join us for all our fun events. And if you need something to do and want to help organize, come join us.
Yes, thank you, Michelle. Thank you. And then just the other two other committees that exist are the golf outing committee. So of course, if you are a golf enthusiast or are looking to get more involved in something fun with the chamber, definitely reach out to me if you wanted to kind of jump on that golf committee. We're always looking for more help. We have about 5 people helping with it, but we're always welcome to, you know, get more engagement. And then our last committee is our Orland Women's Networking. So we have a group of 13 ladies that, you know, gather together every month, and we plan quarterly events for professional women. So we just had our luncheon on March 20th at Chicago Gaelic Park, which was extremely successful. So thank you to the ladies who did attend. We had some fabulous sponsors as well. Mr. Glenn here from Dreammaker Bath and Kitchen sponsored the event. And then our next event that we're looking to have for OWN is a tea time, not like hot tea, but actual like golf practice. So like golf practice and etiquette at Silver Lake. We're just finalizing a couple things, but that event is going to be going live, so you can jump on our website to register for that. Does anybody have any questions for us? No? All right. Well, I will now turn it over to Rose Pest Control. One thing that we've been doing at our monthly membership meetings is we've been working with our members not only to host our meetings like Homewood Suites, so thank you very much to Homewood for hosting this, and providing such great coffee. But then also we always love to engage with our members to even present information to us, new information that we can all gather. There may be some presentations that really touch upon people's interests or what their needs and wants are versus others, but what's really nice is we've been talking to our members saying, you know, definitely explain like your business, but also make sure that you touch upon information that we all can take away from, both professionally and personally. And I'm certain mosquitoes is definitely something that we can all say we've been in contact with or have experienced, especially since the weather is breaking and, you know, baseball games and, you know, going to concerts and stuff. So I will turn it over now to our speakers.
Now?
Man of the hour.
Now?
Good job, yeah.
Oh, come on. Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm a walker, so if I'm in your way for too long, just kick.
Okay. I got some good
Not
news
you,
on.
you got shit kicking boots right there.
Thank you.
I'm Stan, I'm the chair of the mosquito committee. Not bad, okay, I like this side a little better than this side. You can see some stuff up there. I spent 24 years in the Navy, and I was a bug guy, so I got to go all over the world spending your tax dollars and seeing interesting places. You might find it kind of interesting that our Department of Defense has about 130 uniformed bug people to handle all of the bug issues, both here in the United States, but mostly overseas. So let's see here. Oh, isn't that a beautiful thing? You're good. I'm going to turn your chair around a little more. You're going to hurt your neck there. Mosquitoes hold kind of an interesting place in the pest control world and entomology world. Not everybody's had a bed bug issue. Not everybody's had a roach problem. Not everybody's had rodents. But every person in this room at one time or another has had to deal with mosquitoes. Everybody, whether it's personal or professional. I've worked with a lot of businesses that had some serious mosquito issues, and
people even being bitten inside the offices. So what we're going to talk about today is, I learned a good trick years ago. Don't start the timer until you've already been going for 5 minutes, and then you get to talk longer. Good, good, over here, good. I'm going to just tell you a little bit about mosquitoes, how they earn their living, a few little interesting facts about them that will help you in your personal lives, maybe on your property. But the real point of this, and I'm very passionate about this, is believe it or not, there's a lot of false information out there about mosquitoes. And there are a lot of things that people spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on every year that absolutely do not work. Can you imagine that? So we're going to talk about some of those. If you're already using it in your personal life, I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand, but you'll go on the naughty list at the end of the talk. So that's what we're after. Now, a little bit about Rose Pest Solutions. We are the oldest pest control company in the United States. The oldest, out of about 17,000 pest control companies. The great big ones like Orkin and Terminex that I used to work for. We are family owned. We started in 1860, and that gentleman you're looking at there is Solomon Rose. Better, now I can see all of you misbehave. That is Solomon Rose. In 1860, when our country was getting ready to fight for 4 years against each other, the training camps for the Union Army, as you see one here in the top right, when you bring a bunch of people in, a bunch of young kids into this camp, and they start eating and there's water, one of the first things you're going to get are these, rats. And so Solomon Rose, who was in Cincinnati at the time, was contracted by the United States government to try to get rid of the rats. And back then we didn't have an EPA or much regulation, so Solomon, like everybody else, had his own special brew to kill the rats with. We have no idea what might have been in it. And then after he took care of the rats, anybody know what that is? Stay out of this. Nope. It's a body louse. That's what lice look like. Not crab lice. This is a body louse. Okay? And so that was an issue because when you crowd a bunch of people together. So that's kind of where we came from. And one of the reasons I'm telling you all that is we're very fond of saying that this gentleman was our first customer. Because he was the commander-in-chief of the Army at the time, and so we sort of, never mind, I see it's not working in this room, so I'll stop. So I have 3 colleagues here with me today. Wesley, raise your hand, Wesley, is our branch manager, our local branch manager. How far away are you guys at?
Oh, 25 minutes.
25 minutes away from South Chicago. Andrew is one of our top sales guys. Dave Scott, sitting right here, is another one of our top sales guys, so watch out for them.
I'm going to be after you.
Rightly so. I'm not going to talk too much about how we do our business. If you want to talk to these guys afterward, if you've got any questions, they can answer everything much better than I can. Show of hands, who's yes on this? Are any of you mosquito magnets?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You're a public health menace, man. So by the end of this talk, I'm going to sum up for you in 3 words and 3 words only why some people are bitten more often than others. It has nothing to do with what you eat, what you wear, your deodorant, your perfume. We'll talk about it. See, I got the hook in you now, don't I? So a little bit about mosquitoes. There's about 3,600 different kinds in the world. That's not a lot in the bug world. There's about 500,000 different kinds of beetles. Andy, how many kinds of mosquitoes are there in Illinois?
60 something.
I've been training him for 8 months to try to get this right. He walks in this morning and he didn't even say hi, Stan. He goes, 93. So what are you talking about? He goes, 93. That's how many mosquitoes there are in Illinois, right? It's about 60.
Oh.
Okay. Now, of those, most of those different kinds of mosquitoes will never bite people. The female mosquito finds her blood meal, which can be a person, an animal, There's one kind of mosquitoes that only feed on leeches and earthworms, which is kind of cool. She uses her antennae to help her decide what she's going to bite. She sorts through all these different smells. That's a talk for another time. I'm sorry this is a little bit washed out, but bugs do it. On the left is the female mosquito. Only the females bite. That's not true throughout the entomology world, but in this case it's only the females. The males are not capable of biting. But they mate, and this is where the problem starts, because once that female has a blood meal like that, do they bite just to piss us off?
Yeah.
Go to your room. Why do they bite?
Feed.
What do they do with that blood?
Make babies.
Did somebody say they bite to eat? I'm looking at you. Yoga lady, pipe down to her. They need the blood. They need the protein that's in the blood to produce eggs so they can do this. This is our West Nile mosquito. It's kind of a plain brown. Those are the eggs there, that white stuff. And she's using her back legs there to form them into a thing that we call a raft. After one blood meal, she can lay 200 to 250 mosquitoes. So it doesn't take eggs, sorry. So it doesn't take too long for these problems to build up. Am I scaring you?
No,
You're starting to go like this?
No.
Starting to scratch a little bit?
they don't like me.
It's going to get worse.
I'm too mean.
That's 3 words.
Yeah, I'm too mean. That's good. Yeah. Now, in the scientific world, we can't too often use absolutes like always and never, but in this case we can. All mosquitoes have to have water for their life cycle. Every single mosquito has to have some type of water to develop it. Some like really sticky water, like an abandoned swimming pool. Some will, as you'll see, some of them will develop in a bottle cap full of water. And those are all different kinds. Now, adult mosquitoes are very small, very delicate. If they're exposed to the elements, they'll die. So they don't hang out on your front sidewalk. They don't hang out in your grass. If you happen to have a mosquito control business, and some of them in the country do this, I'm just telling you the facts, they pull up and they start spraying the front lawn. And then they coat your whole yard. They don't have to do that. We don't do it. They don't have to do that. Adult mosquitoes are going to hang out. These are Captain Stan's Big Four, where it's cool, a little bit of shade, moist, and out of the wind, because then they can survive. So when you look around your yard or your business, don't look at the areas that are out in the bright sun. Look for areas that are a little bit cooler, a little shaded, a little moist, and out of the wind. And that's where you're going to find mosquito problems. He's dumping trash over there. So this is an example. Cool, particularly decks. You know, if you have a deck at your house and you have a faucet right next to it like a lot of them do, and that faucet drips a little bit, it's going to make all that area underneath your deck moist. There may not be standing water there, but it's going to be damp enough that the adult mosquitoes are going to be attracted there, so that when you go out to barbecue or sit on your deck at night and have a cold one, they're going to come right up through the deck and get you. Okay? So any type of mosquito treatment like you see here needs to be targeted in those areas, and that's what this technician is doing. Cool, shade, moist, and out of the wind. The life cycle can go about 10 to 14 days from egg to adult. But here in Illinois, in the middle of a hot, humid summer, as little as 5 to 7 days. It can happen. So let's talk about some more basics here. Within the last 20 years, the state of Illinois has been invaded, along with most of the rest of the country, by this beast. That is the Asian tiger mosquito, which is one of the mosquitoes that spreads things like Zika, dengue fever, chikungunya, some of these other nasty tropical diseases that we're starting to see more occurring in this country. They're on their way. What makes these guys really dangerous and unique is they bite almost exclusively during the day. You guys have mosquito fogging trucks that go around here? Yeah? When do they spray? They spray at nighttime. That's when most mosquitoes are active and biting, not these folks. So you may call Rose Pest Solutions and talk to one of these fine people, and they might say, what time of the day are you being bitten? And if you say it's the middle of the day and it's these little black and white bastards, that's what it is. It's the only one that looks like that and bites during the daytime. A single bottle cap on your property can produce up to 100 mosquitoes within about a week and a half. One little bottle cap. So you can imagine what a swimming pool would do or a wheelbarrow. So some of the places to look for these things, they will actually come indoors into an office building, a restaurant, and if people have plants, on their desk rooting, like a philodendron or something, she'll actually lay her eggs in that water. And the mosquitoes, as soon as they emerge, they're going to go right under the desk and bite whoever's working there. It's a beautiful thing. Clogged gutters. This is the time of year where you want to check your gutters. If they are clogged and holding water, you're going to produce a ton of mosquitoes up there. One of the biggest places that people forget about are the drip saucers that people buy to put under their plants, because they want to have plants on their porch or on their deck, but they don't want the wood to get stained, right? So they put one of those saucers under there, and then they water the hell out of the plants, and those saucers fill up with water. Boom. Boom. So watch out for those. The easiest thing to do is to just put those plants on either some gravel or buy some bamboo sticks and set it on that so the water can run out. Otherwise, you'll kill your plants. And flat roofs. A lot of business owners don't think about this. No thanks, I didn't want them. People don't think about this. Mosquitoes don't read the textbooks. They don't read that they're supposed to stay within about 6 feet of the ground, which is where we do our treatment, 6 to 10 feet. If that's the only water in town, they're going to go up there and they're going to lay their eggs and grow their family up there. So think about flat roofs. We had a hospital in Houston, Texas years ago, and the doctors and nurses, they had their own little parking area. But they were getting chewed up, especially at night when they went out if they got off like at 11 o'clock. The whole roof had about this much water on it, and the mosquito immature stages were boiling out of there. The larvae or the wigglers. Watch out for these things. There's my pointer. These are these plastic things that drainage tubes, and they're about this long, and then you pull them all the way up. They always do this. They flip up, they get water in them. That's cool, shaded, moistened out of the wind. That's the Ritz-Carlton for a female mosquito in your backyard. Thanks, that was good. In-ground drains, if you irrigate, especially if you have a commercial property and you want to keep it looking really nice like a lot of them do, there are often these types of drains. Remember that West Nile mosquito I showed you? That's one of their favorite places because that water is stinky and gross. But they love it. Fountains. I noticed coming in today there's a big fountain out here. There's a big fountain in front of the Homewood Suites. And there's no agitator on it. So, it's not doing this, there's no fountain. If there's a fountain or an agitator, the female mosquito won't put her eggs in there. But if it's not being used, that's going to produce a lot of mosquitoes. So check for those things. Any type of ornamental thing that might be on your property that can hold just a little bit of water, watch out for it. We still lose about 1 million people a year to mosquito bites. Most of those are in Africa from malaria. Actually, the guy working the front desk out here is from Ghana, which is a country in West Africa. He said, "You're going to talk about malaria today? Wow, I've had it 15 times. There he is right there. Hey, Mr. Ghana, wave to the crowd. I just mentioned it. There he is. Good. Celebrity. And most of those in Africa are children under the age of 5. Children under the age of 5. A little closer to home in the United States, we still have about 2,000 cases of West Nile. Do any of you know somebody who's had West Nile? Usually there's somebody in the room. Yeah. It obviously can kill you. It can also completely debilitate you to where you have to learn to talk, walk, everything again. And we still have about 100 deaths, so it's here. And you probably all woke up today saying, gosh, I hope Stan shows us a picture of West Nile virus. That's what that yellow thing is. Those are all individual virus particles. This is one of my favorite pictures. I could talk about this for a week, but I won't. That's a 10-inch frying pan in somebody's backyard in Georgia. Look at that expression. That's what I'm after. She's going like this. 10-inch frying pan in Georgia, 6,346 developing mosquitoes just in that frying pan.
That's crazy.
And they're going to come out and be hungry. Yeah. Oh, she looked away now. I got her going. All right. So, where most people get their information these days, it's what have you heard and what have you read. Whether it's on your phone, on the internet, we all know that, right? That's gospel. This gentleman and I were talking about it earlier. They hear it often enough, they're going to believe it. That's what the rest of this is about, is to try to dispel this. And I'm going to run through this pretty quickly. Okay, we're doing fine. I got a few more minutes. Because what happens in our business, we show up for a test issue, and we run into Mr. Internet Geek, I'm smarter than you guy, because they've been online and they've learned everything there is to know about bed bugs, and they're sure they know exactly, or anything. They're sure they know exactly what needs to be done, and it's not always quite right. So mosquitoes don't come from damp vegetation. I said they require what to breathe? Water. Water, without exception. Now, if you lived in that house, that's probably going to be a problem. But they will hang out in your yard in that vegetation because it's cool, shade, and moist and out of the wind. Right? Most homeowners and business people don't equate something that's living and growing up in a bucket in their backyard with what's biting them at night or during the day. So we try to teach that. I get asked regularly, how long does a mosquito live? During the summer, it's roughly 6 weeks. Roughly, but there's a lot of variability. David Scott, what are you trying to sell me a mosquito service for? Don't you know we're in the middle of a drought? It's hardly rained at all. False. There are always mosquitoes in these things. And it's that dirty, dirty, polluted water. There's a local mosquito abatement district up on the North Shore. They treat 50,000 of these catch basins every summer to kill mosquitoes. 50,000. Oh boy, here we go. There is no scientific evidence to support many of these claims that I'm about to talk about now. No scientific evidence. The first one is mosquito-repelling plants. People buy these types of things. Go online and look. You can spend $100,000 and put mosquito-repelling plants on them where they don't work. Mosquitoes have something inside of them called essential oils. Those do some things, but you'd have to smash that plant, or one of my favorite words, macerate it. Needs to grind it up in order for it to do anything. There's nothing that you eat. Garlic is one of the big ones. You'll see that coming up here. There will be stories online that if you eat more garlic, you won't be bitten. No scientific evidence whatsoever that anything you eat or drink repels mosquitoes. This is one of my favorite ones. I do a lot of research on this. Okay, that was good. I hadn't made you laugh for a while. I got you. You feeling better now? It's going to get worse. It's not the beer that attracts mosquitoes. It's generally what people are doing when they're outside drinking beer. The number one thing that attracts mosquitoes to us is carbon dioxide coming out of our body, and if you're doing a lot of activity, there's more of it. The female senses that, and she's got you in her sights. I already mentioned this one, but I love this picture. This is a lizard in Malaysia, and you can see in the squares there 2 mosquitoes just happier than pigs, and you know what? Getting their blood meal. We're coming into this season. Mr. Pest Controller, there are giant mosquitoes in my house. They're in the kitchen. There are 2 or 3 of them, and they're sitting on the wall, and they're terrible looking. The kids are frightened. They're totally harmless. These are crane flies. They're totally harmless. They don't even have mouth parts. They can't bite. They're actually beneficial. And you'll see these coming. Who's seen crane flies at their house? Yeah? Did you think they were mosquitoes? Big giant mosquitoes? Oh, you didn't? Really?
Yeah, but
Here,
thingy.
would you like to click?
Alaska's thing?
They didn't have the thingy? You know, that's a perfectly valid technical term, but be careful how you use it. This is my favorite one. There are stories out there, by the way, that if you have type O blood, mosquitoes are more likely to bite you. How would they know what kind of blood type you have? But this story is actually out there that mosquitoes are attracted to blue They have x-ray vision. This is how it goes. They can see through our skin, and their favorite color is blue. So that's why they bite us, because our blood is blue when it's not oxygenated. Who knew? Worthless scientific information. We do have some pretty big mosquitoes here in Illinois. The one on the right there is that Asian tiger that I showed you earlier. This big one over here is called a galley nipper, and yes, it does hurt when it bites you, and we have a lot of them here. So watch out for that, and it's gross and shaggy and icky. How many of you have citronella candles in your yard or at a cottage or someplace to keep your mosquitoes away?
I know.
Come on, confess. This is a confessional. They don't work. The ambiance is great, but they don't repel anything. Okay? Just want to tell you that. There's no scientific evidence to support their claims. Again, not bananas. I'm a big Beatles fan, and when I saw this picture, that looks exactly like a little Paul McCartney having a banana, doesn't it? This gentleman today, we were just shooting the breeze, we've never met. He used the word Quasimodo, not knowing it was going to be in my talk today. So 50 points for Gryffindor, and I'll explain what that means to you after this is done. Science shows us that at any given time, each one of us has about 350 different odors coming off of our skin. It's fact. We don't smell them, except for sometimes, right? You went to yoga today, right? Did you? Before you came here, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. 350 odors, and they can be because of your job, diseases that you've had. People with diabetes have a very strong odor, right? A female mosquito can sort through every one of those molecules. She'll get carbon dioxide from a distance, but then if she were to come into this room, okay, I'm going to go just a few more minutes, okay? If she were to come into this room, she would not randomly decide to bite one of us. She's going to fly around using those antennae. They don't have a nose. She filters them around. She's sensing, and she decides that this gentleman right here smells the best, if I can use that terminology. She's going to bite me, okay? What this means is, to put it simply in my 3 little words, it's not I love you. It's not what you say I'm mean. I'm too mean. Each one of us has a unique chemical signature. Now, the next time you're at a party and somebody's talking to you and they're bugging you and you want to get away from them, just go, say, did you know I have a unique chemical signature? And they will leave you alone. Well, I don't know, maybe they won't. But that's what it comes down to. Our skin puts off these odors, and in that combination, it drives some mosquitoes crazy. They're going to bite you, and other people, they will almost leave completely alone. That's why it is. All right, vitamin B1, no. That's another big one that you'll see. This is good to think about on your property. Keep the vegetation trimmed, whether it's grass or the bushes that get way, way overgrown and need to be thinned out. Why does that work? Cool shade and moisten out of the wind. It gets warmer, there's less humidity, blah, 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 okay? This is a barbecue house down in Arkansas. I wasn't going to tell this guy that he needed to get rid of that to help his mosquito problem. It wasn't in there anyway, but. All right, whoops. This is one of the ones that bugs me the most. See what I can do. Wristbands. They don't work. You can buy them at a checkout, grocery store. Repels mosquitoes. They do not work. They actually, it has become a finable offense in the state of New York to even sell these. Why? If people wear these, they're going to think they're protected. Right? So they may not even look around their yard to see what the mosquito issue is, which is going to not only impact them, but maybe their neighbors. So the fact that these types of things are out there, it gets my dander up. Floor fans are good. Not ceiling fans if you're out on your patio, because we usually have one that go like this for the ambiance. Nobody ever turns them on full because they blow everything away, right? A little floor fan, one of those oscillators or a box fan on low, out where you're sitting, they won't come. They don't like that. I get asked a lot, what good are mosquitoes? They're important in the food chain, both as adults and as the immature stages in the water. This is some of them actually eat mosquitoes. This is a great big giant one here, and there's the little end of the one that it's having lunch on. Who's got bug zappers? Bug zappers kill almost 100% beneficial insects. People buy them because they like the light and they like the little teeny mosquito, when it goes in a bug zapper, doesn't make any sound. And scientific studies have shown us that less than 1% of what ends up in these things are mosquitoes. And that's probably by accident.
Bringing down the house. Cut me off.
I'm almost done. Ultrasonic devices, they've been trying to get these into the pest world for years. Don't buy those plug-in things that only the rodents will hear and it'll keep them away.
I wish I let it though. I've been really there for something that doesn't work.
Talk to you later. There's a lot of do-it-yourself. Watch out for mechanical devices and things that you see online, like traps that you can hang in your yard, and you put this in and put that in. They don't work. Trust me. The only thing that does work is repellent. And there's lots of different kinds, but I can answer that if you want to talk about later. This is another myth. Bats do not control mosquitoes. People buy bat houses and spend a lot of money on them. They don't control mosquitoes. Less than 1% of what a bat eats in nature is mosquitoes. They find their food by sonar, right? Echolocation. Well, if they send a ping out that hits a little teeny mosquito, it's not going to make any sound at all. So they're going to go somewhere else, right? Less than 1%. And purple martins is another one. All right, there's our guy again. There's our website. There's my information, scope@rosepestcontrol.com. If you have any personal questions, feel free to shoot me an email or call me. The last thing I want to mention here is we're very proud of the fact that we are a pest vets company. Got it here somewhere right there. It's an organization that was started nationally to bring veterans into the pest control industry because they're so damn talented. They can fix anything, they can break anything, and they work hard. All right. This is the time when you clap. Questions?
I have one.
Somebody,
What's the best way to repel mosquitoes then?
what's the best way to repel them? You mean personally or like in an area?
You're sitting in a, let's say, an atrium outside.
Okay. There are some things that you can buy that will have some repellency. The problem is they generally set up a protected area and they'll say, 30 feet by 30 feet or something. Well, that's done in a laboratory setting where there's no air. You're not getting up and moving all the time, so you have to really be careful with those things. There are some repellers that if you put them out, they're supposed to blow some stuff across where you're sitting. Well, if the wind changes, you're screwed, right? We can talk, I don't want to talk about any specific products. We have a very neat one now that has come out. It's a repeller unit that we actually install into a yard. And it's got individual repellers that's all run by a smartphone. It's a little bit expensive, but it really works. Anybody else? Come on, you gotta have something that you've heard about. My next door neighbor used to put 50 dryer sheets in her clothes and in her hat. Have you heard of dryer sheets?
We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That'll work. That'll work. Okay, well, I guess people gotta get something. Thanks for having me, I really enjoyed it.
So, do you guys have any questions for the chamber at all? Committees? No? Well, you guys, I know I really want to be cognizant of your time and getting back to the office. You're of course free to take some more coffee if you need to head out. We understand. If you want to stay and network with some of the guests here, we would love that. If you want to come up to us to ask any questions, let us know. We'll be around. Thank you again, everybody, for coming out.